What is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you exactly how much I made in dividend income in the month of January from a $15,000 account. And I'm really pleased to say that despite this being a really hectic month in the market, I did record my highest month of dividend income ever this month. So let's go ahead and jump into my dividend portfolio tracker. If you'd like to be able to download this tracker or any of my other portfolio trackers or stock valuation spreadsheets, then you can head to my Patreon page at the link in the description. Okay, so on my dividend tracking spreadsheet, you can see down here we are currently looking at my portfolio value tab. And like I said, despite this being a really hectic month in the market, you can see that I was able to increase my overall portfolio value due to a few different factors like my dividend income. I increased some of the capital I put into my portfolio and just some capital gains in general. So my current value at the beginning of January, it looks like was about $14,900, which is a pretty nice jump up from December. And my current dividend portfolio value is $15,760. If we jump over to my new buys tab, I'll show you why that is. You can see here in the month of January, I did buy 3 shares of Microsoft at a purchase price of $291 per share. I did recently make a stock valuation video on them, so you can check that out on my channel. If you come down here, you can see my current dividend portfolio cost is about $14,500. So that's about a 8.62% return in less than a year. And my unrealized gains and losses, including my dividends, is about $1,250. So I feel like that's a pretty good start to my dividend portfolio. If we come down here, you can see I have a few different charts that I like to track. It just provides some valuable insight to my dividend portfolio. And the first one is my value by industry. And the reason I track value by industry is whether you're a value investor, dividend investor, growth investor, you need to understand where your risk is. And anytime you have too much capital tied up in a single asset or a single industry, you have more risk than you need. So you can see I do have a few different industries within my dividend portfolio. Some of them do carry more capital than others, but overall I do feel like I'm fairly well diversified. You can see I do have a little bit in ETFs, but overall I have a lot of capital currently tied up in financials, consumer staples, and real estate. And as we move forward and look at some of these other charts, you'll see why that is. And you can see that the next chart that I'm tracking is my dollar and percent gain. The orange line is my percent gain, which you can see right here, and the blue bar chart is my dollar gain. So you can see for most of my stocks, I do have some fairly decent returns by percent. By far my best investment has been Coca-Cola. I invested in them in the midst of the pandemic and I got a great dividend yield on them, and I've also received close to $450 of capital appreciation, which is really good. You can also see I do have a few shares of Apple, and it has been a really good investment for me. I'm up about 30%. It was more about 50% earlier, but the market has really taken a downturn over the past few days for me. Let's go ahead and look at my value by individual holdings. So like I said, you can see my value by industry right here, but over here you can see all of my holdings. So some of these holdings are in the same industry, but some make up some of the smaller industries, like you can see information technology, which would be my Apple and Microsoft investment. But over here you can see by far my biggest holding is Coca-Cola, which part of that's due to how much I've received in capital gains from them, about $450. But I also have pretty strong positions in companies like O, which is a REIT. And then you can see I have some capital tied up in ACRE, which is actually another REIT. So both of those are great passive income plays for me. And right here, you can just see my portfolio value. I started tracking back in February. We're now in January. I've really seen some pretty good growth, but I'll show you what I'm most excited about on my Dividend Outlook tab. So now we're looking at my Dividend Outlook tab, and if we come over here to my historical monthly dividend income chart and look at January, you can see this was my highest month of dividend income ever, and it was my first month of over $100 in dividend income. So I feel like that's a pretty big milestone, so I'm pretty happy about that. You can see really the past 4 months of dividend income have been much higher than the previous 7, 8, or 9 months, which is, you can really start to see the growth, which is pretty exciting. If we come over here, you can see my expected yearly dividend income. I'm getting pretty close to $900. I think the next milestone I want to hit is $1,000 in dividend income every single year. And you can see right here, dividend income year to date. I actually need to update this chart since the year just started once again. while my average monthly dividends is up to about $72.45. If you watched the channel before, you know the current goal is to get up to $100 on average every single month. Like I just showed you, my highest month of dividend income is now $103, and my current portfolio dividend yield is sitting at about 5.99%, so that's a pretty aggressive dividend yield. I'll go more into my dividend investment theory and dividend yield investment theory later on in another video. But my current total dividend payments is sitting at 69, so that's a pretty fair amount of dividend payments over the past year. If we come down here, you can see my expected dividend income by industry. Right now, financials takes up about $330. I do invest in a lot of financial companies. They've had a pretty strong performance over the past year. But other than that, consumer staples and real estate takes up a large majority as well of my dividend income. Here you can see my dividend yield on cost. I do kind of have a mix of some more aggressive dividend investments and then some more staple dividend investments as well, such as J&J, KHC, and KO. Then I also do have, like I said, a few more aggressive investments such as QYLD. It's sitting at about 11.5% yield on cost for me, which is, it's a pretty aggressive dividend yield, but I'll probably make a video on them in the future and what I think about QYLD. And here you can see I have my expected yearly dividend income. This is a really important one for me. I want to see exactly where my dividend income is coming from. The largest right here is ACRE. They are a REIT, so they pay out a pretty fair amount of dividend income, and when I'm investing those dividends back in, I really expect this position to grow pretty rapidly. Apple's probably my lowest position. They have a pretty low dividend yield. That's okay, I do like them long term. I'm probably going to continue to invest a little bit more into them as the months go on. You can see over here, OHI, I'm receiving about $90 of dividend income. Coca-Cola, about $70. And Altria Group, I'm receiving about $66 in dividend income there. I did recently add an AT&T position. I only have about 6 shares, but I'm also going to receive about $12.50 from them. So let's go ahead and jump to my dividend portfolio recording, and I'll show you exactly which companies paid me dividends in the month of January. And if we start right here, you can see Regions Financials paid me about $3, WHF $7.33. QYLD had a pretty large dividend payout in the month of January at $10.17. That helped me get over the $100 mark for this month. MO Altria Group was about $16.23. MAIN $1.53. Oh, they're a monthly dividend company, $5.83. ARES at about $27.28. So that was a pretty large dividend payout. PSEC at $4.45. Goldman Sachs Business Development at $15.36, and then Annaly Capital Management at $12.41. So there you have it. That's exactly how much I made in dividend income for the month of January from a $15,000 account. If you'd like to be able to download this spreadsheet for your own use, then you can head over to my Patreon page at the link in the description. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.